Welcome to Through the Lens of Astrology. I'm your host, Heather Ariel. And it's Mercury retrograde time again. We are in Mercury retrograde until October 18th. Mercury is in the beautiful, diplomatic, balanced sign of Libra. So it's a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of the thoughtful communication, because remember, Mercury, it's all about communication. How are we going to share what we're thinking? And Libra says, well, let's share it in a very diplomatic way with grace and elegance. So even when we discuss difficult truths, we can connect in a rational way. Libra is rational. It is the only sign that is an inanimate object. So we always want beautiful intuition. A retrograde is a wonderful time to be reflective. Remember, we go in, we're thoughtful. It's very intuitive, but when it is in Libra, Libra is very rational. It's the most rational. Because it is an inanimate object, it's sort of like, let's take the feelings out of it and let's really see all sides of something. That's why judges, lawyers, things, it's about justice. It's how can we be fair? It is about balancing the scale. So keep in mind the sun is in beautiful Libra. And if you, I talked a lot about Libra a couple of weeks ago in a show, so you can check that show out if you really want to do a deep dive into all things Libra. But with this retrograde, it is a moment to just exhale. I mean, I don't know what everybody's doing, but I've been running around. It's not been a relaxing retrograde at all. It's been I'm a little exhausted actually. So I am going to really try over the next week, to really consciously connect to that retrograde energy and allow for, even in our hectic days, right? We're all running around. We have to do things. We can't just stop doing things. But I'm going to make a bigger effort. And just to remind, let's do what we can over the next week. Let's take advantage through the 18th of, quiet time to make sure we don't miss a meditation. I was late doing my meditation today, and I was all day saying, why didn't I just do it when I got up? Why didn't I just do that? So it's really the kind of thing that, go ahead, do your meditation as soon as you can during the retrogrades. If you can go spend some time. I did spend a little quiet time in a park where I just had to, have some quiet time. It's really rejuvenating. That is the theme. That is the uber desire of a retrograde, is how can we find relaxing ways to renew, to really rejuvenate. And a retrograde reminds us that rejuvenation comes from within, right? We look within. That's what the meditation, it's thoughtful, it's reflective. So if you want to keep a journal, right? You have all these thoughts, put them down. It's a time to be thoughtful. And if you have a lot of decisions before you, it's a wonderful time to really look at all of them. And with Libra energy, you want to look at them consciously. I mean, there is that desire to not just make decisions 100% intuitive, because that goes against Libra energy. So the challenge is, how can we combine the beautiful, intuitive, sensitive energy of a retrograde with the rational thinking of Libra, of I'd like to weigh my decisions, right? There's this, there's that. And to have conscious information about those decisions. That is a Libra desire, okay? And we're supposed to go with the energy. So we want some rational thinking along with the beautiful intuition. And Libra is so social. It is verbal. It is air. So remember, when Mercury is in an air sign, air, it's ideas, it's talking, it's using your words. So it really is about not just keeping your ideas in your head, it's sharing them. It's really having those discussions. It's verbal. So Mercury is verbal anyway, and then when it's in an air sign, it really has a strong desire to express itself with words. So Mercury retrograde in Libra, you definitely want to be weighing things, thinking about things, and communicating what you're thinking. And you can have some wonderful discussions with your friends, with your family, with your romantic partners. Hash things out. It's wonderful for that. Libra just brings in that wonderful, detached, rational energy that can, and it's also justice. I have this beautiful justice candle, and I just lit it before starting the show, because I said, you know what, that's the intention. The intention with Libra, the highest manifestation of Libra, it's justice. How can we have things be fair? And things are never fair, right? The scales are never equally balanced. It's just always like, oh, it's always tipping, and no, it's always tipping. But we have to do everything we can to balance them, right? We have to try. We have to consciously try. And we have to consciously try to bring freedom to people, right? That's justice. So I lit the candle as the intention for the entire group tonight, right? Everyone listening, if you're listening, you're part of the group. And remember that we are connected by listening and by having a similar intention. When we all have the same thought, we all have the same intention, our power grows and the thought grows. And so I'm setting the intention tonight for justice, for let us really embrace all of this Libra energy. So saying, let's go out. The retrograde is extremely reflective. So when you do some reflections over the next week, really reflect on what can you do to balance the scales? What actions can you take to bring justice to the people around you? Okay. And, it's like, think about, we can see these situations, and sometimes we're like, oh, this is unfair. Or, you think about cover-ups, and things happen and people cover things up. And, justice is saying, look around you. If something is being done that is unconscionable, if something is being done where it's like, oh, this power is the power plays, oh my gosh, Libra energy is the perfect energy to bring the rational discussion in to then balance the scales. That's the goal. So reflect over the next week, through the 18th especially, all the ways that you might be able to do that. And then when Mercury goes direct on October 18th, do your best to implement them through the beautiful social, verbal, rational thought, to then combine the intuitive with the rational thought. It's combining the head with the heart. We want both. In order to make the best decisions, and in order to bring justice. It's justice. And I know I talked about a few weeks ago, I talked about the beautiful gymnasts who were testifying about the sexual abuse and just the cover up. And now we have the soccer. I'm sure you all are keeping up with that story. The women, playing the soccer, the women who play soccer, it's a huge thing, and they were experienced horrible abuse, and they're talking about it, and their actions being taken. But that's something to really, that's Libra. It's like, let's bring justice when we see something like that. Let's make that effort to really bring it to light. Right? Bring it to light, and then be very thoughtful, reflect on it, and balance the scales. And a couple of things about, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, just because retrogrades can be so healing. They're a wonderful time to heal, and we heal by then allowing for the deep, profound reflection. And I tell you, I've been having the most hectic days. It's really something else. But I know, and I'm going to be so conscious of this over the next week, even 10 minutes, right? Do your meditation, or even 10 minutes sitting at a bench in a park. Journal, allow for that, because it can be very, very healing, especially if you've experienced any kind of trauma. And most of us have experienced some kind of trauma. Retrogrades are wonderful healing times, because we forget how healing it can be to be thoughtful and reflective. And because of all the Libra energy, let's put those thoughts into words. That's why journaling is so great during Mercury retrogrades. And so go ahead and, journal, reflect on maybe some moments in your life that, if they're painful, it's a wonderful time to reflect on them, to review them during a retrograde, because then you can transmute the energy, because it's refining. Retrogrades are about refining energy and making adjustments. It's not about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's saying, whoa, this is, and with Libra, we're going to balance the scales, but we're going to make refinements. So think about all the ways to do that. Now, a couple of cards, I'm going to do a couple. We had a big new moon. Oh my gosh, we had a big new moon in Libra, October 6th, okay, just yesterday. Wonderful 2-week window, remember? Beautiful, just wonderful time to be doing new things. Now, yeah, it's in a retrograde, so we're going to combine the energies. It means we're going to embrace all that beautiful new moon energy. We're just going to add a reflective layer, okay? So I'm going to do a couple of group readings so we can really be unified in our intention. We can become a very powerful group when we are unified with a unified intention. And what the first card that popped out was the Neptune card. I thought, well, that's just perfect. Neptune, a psychic gateway has opened. Quiet your mind and connect to your guides. Honor what they hear. And this is amazing, because that is what a retrograde is all about. It's really about allowing yourself to reach those highest levels of transcendence, of consciousness, to really do those activities that allow for that. And the other card that popped out, so these are uber messages for everyone listening, was the Mars card, but it was reversed. And that's interesting because Mars is our ability to do things and to take action. And it does say assert yourself. But it's facing conflict head on, but with that, because it's reversed, it's saying embrace the assertive diplomacy. So don't shy away, right? We always want to speak our truth, but we're going to embrace the assertive diplomacy, especially retrograde energy is similar to Libra energy in that way, in that we want to assert ourselves in a very diplomatic way. Okay, now, all right, so you know what, and I wanted to, I wrote down this quote that I just thought this could really inspire. This really inspired me, what Mana Shin said, who was one of the women who was abused, the soccer. She played soccer, and she said, let's just think about this, because this is a beautiful quote, and it really encapsulates the highest energy of Libra. The number of times we have to hear this story and talk about it. We shouldn't have to do this over and over and over again. And I just thought, you know what? It's really true. But with Libra, it is the perfect time to talk about some of these things and bring that. And I was very moved by that. And I just thought it's a beautiful, beautiful Libra idea of let's go ahead and embrace that. Okay, now, all right, I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but let's do the new moon spread, because I want to bring us all together, and then we're going to do the retrograde spread. So we're going to have the new moon energies, and then we're going to layer the beautiful reflective energies over it. Okay, all right, so let me just shuffle these. Okay. 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 Oh, we got the Earth card. All right. So that really means Earth is saying, one, it's a wonderful time. Let's take care of ourselves, right? Like, I mean, I'm a little exhausted, so I need to kind of do a tune-up. But really think about physically. Always when you get the Earth, it's physical. Make sure you're taking care of your body, that it's do some really relaxing, rejuvenative activities. And Earth is also finding ways to be as practical as possible and finding ways to really connect with on the material plane. All right. So that's a wonderful that's a wonderful card to get during a retrograde, because a retrograde is so reflective and transcendent. And then here comes the Earth to say, oh, but we need to also combine and embrace, because we come in to really connect on a material earthly plane, right? They're beautiful, beautiful. As the card says, indulge your senses, embrace earthly pleasures, connect to the natural world. Manifesting energy surrounds you. Earth allows us, when we embrace the earth energy, it's easier for us to do things in the real world. So it's saying, yes, be practical and let's find ways to really engage in all of that. And, when you reverse it, it's saying, well, material comforts are important in life, but, just make sure they're not the only comfort. So sometimes we can be a little too attached to our things. I got to get rid of some stuff. So I got to go through my storage. So you can think about when you get the earth card too, it's sort of, you look at your things and say, well, do you really need it? Let's organize it. Let's make sure it's really bringing us that joy and that love. And then we can, you can go to Goodwill or things like that. And it's a great time for that. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. Now, Earth is also the slowest energy of the elements. So that's nice for a retrograde. It's saying as much as you can, find some time to maybe slow down a little bit. Okay, now we're going to do a modality, because with the new moon spread, I do pick a card from different categories, and I am using the deck that I created with artist Tom Cummins. It's a 52 card deck, The Fundamentals of Astrology. For this spread, yeah, you do need my deck, but for the other ones, you can use any deck. Just use your favorite deck. Okay, here we go. Okay, oh, cardinal energy. All right, well, cardinal energy is very forward moving. So anytime we get cardinal energy, we really do want to embrace individual initiative. We want to move forward. We did get it reversed, which means definitely we're all going to be embracing our individual initiative, but this is enjoy the collaboration. So it actually becomes a card of working with people. Libra is all about working with people. It's all about working with people. So that is really, really wonderful. Saying Libra then really complements the cardinal reverse. So in order to succeed, and this is for the group, everyone listening, in order to succeed in this situation, teamwork is required. So as a group, really think about, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? And are you trying to do too much alone? Or, really think about who can help you do it, or maybe there's a team that you have to have those Libra discussions. And here, everybody gets a vote, everybody gets a voice. All right, that's the justice of Libra. But this is saying there needs to be major collaboration going on in the group. Major collaboration going on in the group. Okay. Now, all right, and practical. So Earth is like, let's be a little practical and let's collaborate. All right, now we are going to pick a planet, because it's saying let's make these energies our best friends over the next 2 weeks of this beautiful new moon. I love a new moon. And a new moon so the sun is in Libra, and then when you have a new moon in that sign, it does intensify the energy. So then all things Libra just get a boost. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go with the planet. Okay, I'm just shuffling a little bit. There we go. Oh, Mercury. Well, that's perfect. All right. Well, we got the Mercury card, Mercury the messenger for, that's perfect for a retrograde. So this really means everything. This is all about our communication and our thoughts. So it's not just what we're saying, it's what are we thinking, right? Really honor your thoughts, honor your ideas. I suggest writing them down and then share them. Share them. Make sure you're communicating and you're having that communication. And it can be very unsatisfying if you're not having communication with people. So really honor your thoughts, honor your ideas. Ideas are elevated when we get the Mercury card. And so just remember how powerful ideas are. And we want unified intention. So really think about, okay, what are you really thinking? What are your thoughts? And allow for that reflection, so then you can refine. If you feel, somebody's not understanding me. Okay, Just reflect on that. Do a refinement, and then do the beautiful assertive diplomacy. But this is the success of the next couple of weeks is all going to be about how well we communicate with each other and how well we collaborate. So we're going to have to use our words to really fine tune some collaborations and find some, be practical and make sure that what we're talking about is realistic, in that sense. Okay. Now, all right. So now we're going to pick a zodiac sign. So I like this spread because it gets a nice balance. Yeah. And I know I talked about a couple weeks ago, I talked about A Fine Line. I just love that song. Listen to that. I'll tell you, I was in a really frantic mood today. I was just in oh my gosh, I'm just not going to get this stuff done. And I played that song. What a beautiful Libra song. It's all about, we got to find a fine balance, okay? We got to balance. That's balancing the scales. We got to have a fine balance. And it's so beautiful. It completely can just it's about restoring equilibrium, right? A retrograde. And Libra really desires equilibrium. So I like to listen to music that brings that in. That song's by, I'm sure everybody knows that song. I talked about it. It's so famous, by Harry Styles. But perfect Libra song. Okay. Bring the equilibrium. That's what we want. So if you're feeling out of balance, listen to a song like that can just restore equilibrium. Do an activity. All of that. That's the goal, right? It's especially, in a retrograde when we don't have that equilibrium, and with Libra energy, you feel it more. So we have to sort of try harder to stay in that equilibrium. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Okay, amen. Oh, Capricorn! Wow. Oh, that's surprising. Okay, Capricorn. Well, Capricorn goes with Earth. Okay. So for this new moon, guess what? We got to work hard. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're still going to work. But Capricorn is slow. It's Earth, but it is hard. It's the goat. It's hard working. All right. So one of the things we're going to reflect on is all the things we do have to do. When Earth and Capricorn show up, we got to do things. There's a lot of things. It's like, there are a lot of things we got to do. But Capricorn and Earth, it is a little slow, so it's okay. It's allow for that reflection over the next week to have the fine tuning of, well, what do we really have to do? What is the schedule? Capricorn says, get a schedule, okay? And make sure you know what you have to accomplish each day and be organized in that sense. And as it says, climb every mountain. I love that song. It's time to be the mountain goat and begin your ascent. You can accomplish anything with Capricorn energy, but it's about putting one little hoof in front of the other. So think about it that way, of do your reflection and work on what are you trying to do, what are you trying to accomplish, and let's slow down a little bit to make sure that we're not skipping steps or missing things, right? I'm definitely been skipping some steps and missing some things. I'm going to really take these messages to heart and do some really, really thoughtful work on this. And this is for the group, but it also means as a group, this is a very manifesting group. This is a group that can get things done. So pat yourself on the back. That's very strong manifesting energy. Now, that also means anyone who resonates to Capricorn energy, the Capricorns out there, you got to step up to the plate. Yeah, we really need you. And remember, it's all about the group, right? It's like, yes. We reflect, we focus on ourselves with that deep reflection, but it's all about how can we benefit the group, right? We always want to put that energy back out on the group. So we need Capricorns right now. Capricorns, step up, remind us of how we can, the power we have of manifesting, of how to manipulate the material world, how to be practical, and how to break things down in steps. So there's a logical progression of steps with this, okay? So Capricorns, we really need you right now. If you feel the group you're in or what you're doing has just gotten a little out of balance, out of whack, Capricorns, you got to come to the rescue right now. You got to bring people to their senses, and you got to say, this is how we're going to do it, folks. This is how we're going to do it. Okay? So we need Capricorns' help right now. Okay? All the Capricorns listening. Okay, so now, all right. let's pick. Oh yeah, we're going to get a house. Okay. Remember, there are 12 astrological houses in astrology, and so uh, each house is an area of experience. So, okay, each house is an area of experience. We are going to pick an area of experience to just pay a little bit more attention to, and also saying it's an area where we could really activate over the next couple of weeks. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? I feel we just got this a couple of weeks ago. We got the 6th house. This is something else. Okay. So this is the deal for this. This is a very strong message. We've gotten this now a couple of times as a group recently. That is the house of our schedule, of our daily routine. So think about how are you doing things? When are you doing things? This is really saying as much as you can, get a daily routine, but there's a collaboration. This is a message that this group is getting more than once. Okay. You got to collaborate. You got to work with each other. You got to agree on your daily routine. When you're part of a group, one person can't say, well, I'm going to start at 6. And the other person's like, well, I'm going to start at 10. It's like, no, you got to come together. So routines have to mesh and come together. The daily routine is not together for the group. So think about who you're working with, right? Everyone listening. Make sure that you're in sync with your routine and your schedule. We need to collaborate. We need to be practical and come up with, well, that's just not doable. The Capricorn has to say, the Capricorn is always there to kind of say, what? Are you nuts? Are you kidding me? That's not doable. No, I'm going to tell you how we can do this. Okay, this is how we're going to do this in a real, practical, tangible way. Okay, that's what we need from the Capricorns. Also, take care of yourself. Indulge in rejuvenating, healing activities with the 6th house. Okay, that's the Earth, 6th house and Earth, and it is an Earth house. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm a little exhausted, so it's like do some things to just make you feel a little bit better. Take that extra energy to really feel better. And you're going to feel so good. Okay. Wow. All right. So I'm always so surprised by these messages. Okay. I'm going to separate these, take a picture, put them up. Very clear messages. Wow, this is beautiful. Oh, I resonate. I hope you all are resonating. But this is like, make it our friend. Let's rejuvenate. Because then if we do this, then we're going to be able to implement, especially after the 18th, all our beautiful ideas of how to bring justice, right? How to put beauty, love, grace, diplomacy out into the world. That's Libra, right? When Libra energy comes in, it says beautify the world, love the world, equality. Let's fight for equality, right? That's really beautiful. Okay, so now, because I separated these into, I just got to take a second. I got to shuffle this, and then we're going to add these in. And then I'm going to do the Mercury retrograde spread, so that the retrograde spread will just be some energies to layer, right? Because astrology is full of nuance and duality. A retrograde and Libra both remind us of that. Yeah, it reminds us of that. Okay, so I also saw Thelma and Louise, and I'll tell you, I saw it when it came out years ago. And I loved it, but I like to kind of review. A retrograde is a great time to review things that you've already seen before and things like that. So it's like, I really wanted to see that again. Say, what did I think of it? Boy, does that holds up. And I'll tell you, as an older person, because I was so young when I saw it the first time, that ending, for those of you who have seen it, I mean, it really resonates of all the theme of freedom, the theme of control, and the freedom I talk about. What an American, it's really essential to America. It's the ascendant of the USA birth chart. Remember, countries have charts. Anything that has a beginning has a chart. It's connected to that Sagittarius energy. So that's another thing. When we're connecting with the themes of equality of Libra, how do we bring equality, right? We bring freedom. We bring freedom to our partners. Libra is very connected to collaborations and partnerships. So try to bring freedom. Bring freedom to your partnership. Bring freedom. Spread freedom. Look in the group. Make sure people are feeling free, and spreading that. And then, making sure that people in the country, their freedom is very important. I mean, one of the characters, Thelma, she had a great line basically saying, she basically had 1 week of freedom. She was controlled by her husband, and then, just a lot of things. And she was like, this is better to have a 1 week of freedom than to have a lifetime of torture and trauma. So, we want to honor that in ourselves, and we want to give it to others whenever we can. Whenever we can take an action to help someone feel free and to help someone feel worthy and equal, we want to take that action. And Venus, oh, you know what? Venus is in Sagittarius. Okay, you know what? That's perfect. Oh, October. It's today. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, great. Venus is in Sagittarius. And Venus is connected to Libra. It's all about relationships. And Sagittarius is connected to freedom. So within your relationships, okay, energy in Libra, Venus and Sag. It's really important. Bring in those levels of freedom. It's exploring. It's exploring energy. So go do fun things. If you're in a couple, do really fun things that explore, but allow that freedom, and seek out people who are different from you. Sagittarius, the highest manifestation of Sagittarius energy is tolerance and freedom, right? So if Venus is in Sag, that impacts all of our relationships, where we just get a desire to, we really want to feel free, and we want to share that. So as a group, we can go out there with our beautiful intention of spreading freedom and spreading tolerance to honor the Venus in Sagittarius, and fighting for justice, right? Making sure, balancing the scales. Take actions that balance the scales. That's what the beautiful soccer players were doing. They're taking actions by revealing their abuse. They took actions to help balance the scales, and that guy was fired. I can't remember his last name, but the coach was Paul somebody, and it's already fired. So that's what we can do. We speak our beautiful Libra truth with diplomacy, assertive diplomacy, and then actions are taken to balance the scales. Okay, now let's see. Okay. All right, so I shuffled those. I'm just putting these together. Okay, so with the retrograde, just remember, words that begin with R-E. It's reflective. I'm doing a lot of research and recon, and I'm reviewing things, and I love to do research in a retrograde. So anything you want to renew, rejuvenate, reunite, reflect, refine. One of my favorite things is refinement. It's allow for the nuance. It doesn't have to be major actions, but allow for that nuance. Okay, you know what? Let me just I've got all these in my planner, the Astro Planner. If you want to see any of these spreads that I'm using, let's see, where is the Mercury retrograde spread? It is on, there it is. Okay, it's page 127. For those of you who have the planner, that's the spread that I'm doing right now. Okay, so it's just a simple, elegant 5-card spread to just help us really embrace and renew. The whole goal is path to rejuvenation. Path to rejuvenation. That's what I need. Yeah, so hopefully you all need some rejuvenation too. All right, first card. Yeah, it's a reflection card. So this is as a group, everyone listening, if we embrace this energy, let's reflect on this. Let's reflect on the first card. Okay, let's reflect on this. Okay, let's reflect. Okay, I've got 2.5 decks, so that was a little hard to shuffle. Okay, I just went for it. Okay. All right, oh man. Oh my God, this is really hard to shuffle. Here we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this already complements the new moon spread. Okay, we got the seventh house, but we got it reversed. Oh boy, oh boy. Help, I need somebody. That's a Beatles song. Don't feel you have to do everything yourself. Reach out and ask for the help you need. All right. So, cardinal energy reversed. Enjoy the collaboration. This really complements seventh house reverse. Seventh house, that's all one-on-one relationships. Libra is connected to this house. This is a really important message when energy is in Libra and we get the seventh house reverse. Everybody listening, we got to look at our one-on-one relationships, romantic, friends, business. They're out of balance. There's going to be at least one that's out of balance, out of sync. Okay, so have those beautiful Libra discussions but do the reflection. You may want to do, I would say, do as much reflection as you can over the next week, and go ahead and have those discussions right now. But allow for real in-depth discussions, and try to, and that's what I would say. But definitely, this is a relationship issue. You want to get in sync in all of your relationships. You want to balance the scales in all of your relationships, whether they're family, intimate family, romantic, business. You got to look at the one-on-one relationships, okay? Because that is what is, that is what you got to work on. We all have to work on, okay? I'm part of the group. This is what we got to do. And they're not balanced when we get this reverse. Now, some of them are, but there's going to be at least one that's going to really benefit from that beautiful Libra assertive diplomacy. So let's use the energy and let's balance the relationships. Wow. So let's reflect. That is an area. Relationships are an area of reflection for the group. Okay. Intimate one-on-one, right? Okay, card 2 is reconnection. All right. An area to reconnect. An area to reconnect. An area to reconnect. Okay, an area to reconnect. Here we go. Oh, wow. I have this 2.5 decks. Okay, all right. An area to reconnect. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? A card totally flew out, so we're going to use that too. Oh my gosh. All right, Mercury. So now Mercury has been repeated. This elevates the message. We got Mercury as the message in the new moon spread. Now we got it here. So we need to reconnect with our own ideas, our thoughts, our communication. So this really means it's all about what are we thinking, how are we expressing our ideas, and as a group, it's really communicating those ideas. So I think as a group, we have a lot of different, think about what you're doing. It could be your family group, your group at work. I mean, we all have our groups, right? Look at the groups that you're, with whom you're working. And it's just essential that you communicate what you're thinking clearly. That is how you're going to solve some of these issues. It's really going to come down to communication. Oh, well. Oh, okay. And the other card that flew out. Now, this is a great one. It's the wish card. Oh, I love it. Embrace your heart's desire. Your deepest hopes and wishes are coming true. Express gratitude for these answered prayers. So, yeah, there are a lot of wishes going around. Now, this is a wonderful card because this is saying, let's reconnect, right? Let's always reconnect to our deepest passions. It's very easy to disconnect from that, right? So this is also saying, let's reconnect to our deepest desires, right? What are our wishes? Let's remind ourselves of that, right? You reconnect with friends. It's the house of friends, and reconnect with organizations, to which you belong, and groups that really bring you a lot of joy, but also that communication. Okay. All right, now. Oh, yeah. Okay, so an area to reignite. Maybe there's an area, something that we've kind of, I haven't been practicing the piano lately. An area to reignite. So it would be your creativity or something. That could be an area. So we're going to see an area that's a wonderful thing to do during a retrograde, to get back to something that maybe brought you a lot of joy. All right, an area to reignite. Okay. All right, an area to reignite. quiet area to reignite. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So an area is Pisces. All right. Pisces is creativity. It's funny. I just said that, but okay. So make sure that, it's like think about what are some creative things that you do, and you've been doing something that's kind of taken you away from that. Like sometimes we have jobs or things to do and we're like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this all the time, and now I've been neglecting my writing or my piano or whatever. So with Pisces, definitely reignite any area of creativity, anything, any creative activity that's fun. Get back to painting, do something. It's also meditation. It's also that. So reignite your meditation if you feel that. It's transcendence, right? It's sensitive transcendence. And it's also because we also got it reversed. It's exercise. Make sure that you're doing the yoga. Get moving. So you stimulate your lymphatic system to remove toxins. So make sure also that you're doing some physical activity that does that. But it's also very sensitive and compassionate. It's universal love. It's empathetic. So let's, on an uber level, when we get the Pisces card, if we got to reignite Piscean energy, we need to reignite universal love. We need to reignite empathy, really putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Okay? This is, if somebody is in pain, guess what? You're in pain. If somebody cuts themselves, you bleed. Okay? That's Pisces. And we need to be reminded of that. So look around over this next week and be reminded of that. If you're seeing somebody, in pain or whatever, that's it lowers the consciousness of the whole planet, because pain, we need everyone to feel good, right? We want to spread joy and bliss. So we want to make sure that we do what we can to heal others, right? Because then we heal ourselves that way, right? And we heal the planet. So, and that also means, guess what? Yeah, guess what, folks? Pisces, that's a zodiac sign. So calling all Pisces. If you're Pisces and you're listening, you got to step up to the plate. Remind people of universal love, that if somebody cuts themselves, you bleed, we bleed. Okay? You got to remind people of that, because that's just second nature to you. And also spread your creativity, help people to be as creative and transcendent and empathetic as they can be. Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. Let's see. Oh, refinement. Yeah. This is did I just do that? Oh, right. Because we got 2 cards. I was like, I got 4 cards here. Yeah, that's right. Because 2 came out for that. Okay. Refinement. This is my favorite thing because I'm constantly needing to refine things. Okay. So this is an area where you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You just got to refine it, okay? Think about a way to maybe make an adjustment, right? It's so beautiful. Retrograde energy is so beautiful for that. Okay, you're going to refine. Yeah, we're all going to refine. Make some adjustments. I need to make a lot of adjustments, but, we're all in this together, that's for sure. Yeah, that's Aquarian. Okay, here we go. Refine, refine, refine. 2.5 decks might be too many. Yeah, that was a lot that I just did. Oh my gosh. Maybe I did 3. Maybe this is just 2, actually. You know what? This is just 2 decks, which is still a lot. Okay. Yeah, I did just do 2 decks. Yeah, I did. Okay, here we go. All right, refine. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, okie dokie, okie dokie. We got Neptune. So now this message is echoed. It's elevated. All right. Neptune is connected to Pisces. It is the psychic gateway has opened. Quiet your mind, connect to your guides. Honor what you hear, and I'll tell you, this is the message that has been echoed, right? This is the Uber message for the group. It's very sensitive, transcendent. It's really saying it's wonderful for meditation. You may want to refine your meditation. You may want to do them. I need to redo my hours when I do my meditation. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. Think about, when do you do it? Maybe when do you want to do it? I didn't even get my second one in today. It's ridiculous. So refine your meditation, refine even maybe the creativity. It's very sensitive, reflective work. And also really think about the thoughts, because our thoughts, our energy, when we're in a mood or when we're thinking certain thoughts, you can tell, you can walk into a room, and if somebody is just, oh my gosh, they're just so angry, you can sense that. You just sense it. You don't even have to see them. They can be behind something. You're just like, oh, this, you sense that. So let's refine our thoughts with this Neptune card. And it's very creative, sensitive, transcendent. And it means honor our thoughts as a group. Because that's unified intention. When we go out with these unified intentions, we become a very, very powerful, powerful group. Okay, so, and we got Neptune twice and we got Pisces. So that is, that message is elevated. Yeah. And we just want to be sensitive and kind with Neptune. Now, Neptune also has to do with boundaries. So we also want to respect boundaries. Anytime we get Pisces and Neptune, that is true. We want to make sure that we're honoring boundaries. We respect ourselves, and we also respect others with all of that. Yeah. Okay, so now, oh, I love this one. Okay, this is what it's all about. This is the path to rejuvenation, because, yeah, we all need some rejuvenation. Okay, we need some rejuvenation. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, and the Pisces and the Neptune, the Pisces are the best when you're thinking of, when we're talking about some of this trauma, when people discuss trauma, and the soccer players, Monishim and the others. Oh, a card just popped out. Okay, I'm going to talk about this. And when you see something like Thelma and Louise, and it was a great moment in Thelma and Louise when Louise, I'm just going to, okay, it's a spoiler alert a little bit, whatever, I'm sure you've seen it, but when Louise talks about, when she reveals her best friend Thelma didn't even know she had been raped in Texas. Her best friend didn't know that. And I just thought, yeah, we got to remember that trauma is not always immediately apparent. And that's the sensitivity that Pisces and Neptune energy can bring. It's like Pisces can help people be more sensitive and to sort of say, yeah, it's like they're a little bit better at that, to say, hey, yeah, you didn't sense that? They can sense it. But for most people, we have to remember that trauma is not always apparent. So we really need to put ourselves in other people's shoes, right? Okay, all right. But retrogrades are so healing. Anyone listening, if you've had real trauma like that, you can really heal by allowing for the reflection, and know that you can transmute that energy. You can refine energy when you journal in a retrograde, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. So, yeah, it can be deeply healing. Deeply healing. And we heal through making these refinements, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so here we go. What is our path to rejuvenation? We got a couple cards. A card fell out for that as well. Okay, here we go. All right, path to rejuvenation. Okay. Amen. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Okay, so the first card that popped out is the Uranus card. That's the wild card. That is the electrifying energy is around this group. Oh my gosh. This is major wild card energy. So it's a little bit harder to kind of we got to ground ourselves. When we get Uranus, it's like bolts of lightning going off. So there's a lot of brilliance in this group. There are going to be a lot of amazing ideas. Okay. So as a group, think of the groups that you're working with. And that means there's going to be a lot of electrifying energy that's very, very exciting, unexpected, shocking. It's like sudden changes. We need the Capricorns to kind of ground. Capricorn and Earth grounds this energy. So go ahead and share all the electrifying ideas, and then Capricorns, you kind of got to step up to say, this is how we're going to make that happen. Okay? Help to ground, because otherwise you're just being it's hit by lightning, and it can be very, very, so you may, as a group, you all may be having like just amazing epiphanies, and it just may be this. It can also be very, this describes my situation right now, where I'm just like, oh, it's a little frenetic. So Uranus is kind of like, oh, you're always off kilter. It's, oh, okay. But it's exciting, and it allows for epiphanies and awakenings. So so embrace that. But the Capricorns help to make it practical. Say, well, this is how we're going to do that crazy idea. Okay. So it's like, let the Capricorns kind of figure out how to do what the Uranian individuals are coming up with. That's the best way to do it. Okay, that's the best way to work as a group with that. And then we got Virgo. We got a whole nother zodiac sign. Okay, we got Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. So then that really means, oh my gosh, it's all about being of service, right? And really, the world needs you. That's the message. And that's a beautiful Libra message. We need, as we go out over these next couple of weeks, remember, the world needs us. The group needs us. Yes, you need you. Your family needs you, the group, but the world needs us. Our country needs us. Let's find ways to be of service. And I'm even going to pull a card. You know what? Because I always pull a card about how can we help the country, right? I'm going to pull a card for that as well. But Virgo, we want to be of service. We want to take care of ourselves with Virgo energy, right? Yeah. We want to take care of ourselves with Virgo energy. So that also means Virgo energy is elevated. Show people how to be grateful, how to take care of themselves. And remember, Virgo is the mechanics. Virgo is also Earth. It can help break energy down. It can break problems down. So if people have, maybe you're going to hear a wild idea, the Virgo can say, oh, this is how we're going to do that. You're going to break the mechanics and figure out what is not working. It could just be something very teeny tiny. You don't have to blow it out, so get rid of it. So Virgo and Capricorns, yeah, and Pisces, you got to step up to the plate big time. Okay. And all right, so now I'm going to pull a card. Yeah, how can we rejuvenate the country, right? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. This is unbelievable. All right. I have now asked this question 3 times. Okay. We got the trine the first time. We got the conjunction last time. And we got the trine again. This is amazing. A gift is yours for the taking. Just don't forget to open it. Okay. So as a group, there are all kinds of ways we can be helping our country. All right. So let's reflect on that. Let's reflect on that over the next week, and just know that there are ways. I'm trying to figure that out. I'd love to do that. So but know that there are wonderful gifts in the group. There are all kinds of ways to do that we can be of service, right, to our country, because our country needs us. All right. So I'm going to put these messages up. Allow for reflection, allow for real rejuvenation. And look at your relationships and communicate, honor your ideas, and let's really do what we can with this beautiful Libra energy to really balance the scales. And go listen to certain songs. I'm telling you, go listen to A Fine Line. It's just listen to songs that bring in that nuance and say, we're very different, but we can come together. That's also Venus in Sagittarius, right? That's really, really beautiful. So I would say that. And and spreading the beautiful freedom. All right. And be inspired. With all of those things, and know that there's a beautiful rejuvenation ahead of us. But I would say, let's go forth and let's balance the scales with beautiful assertive diplomacy. And let's, we all got to work together. We got a lot of collaboration messages. So embrace the beautiful electrifying energy, find ways to be of service, and listen to music that brings balance and equilibrium, right? Because that's what it's about. And we're going to do what we can to bring justice, right? Justice for all. Well, that's our show. Until next time, enjoy and embrace transformation.